Wipe the back of your neck like this. When you finish playing and when you start playing, try to wipe the back of your neck like that quite fast so that it creates a little friction and it warms up the neck, okay? So that's what we call warming up the neck. So after you warm up the neck, you might want to check your tuning again. Feel it. Feels warm. You can actually feel the warmth, okay? So I'm going to go check it again to see what happens. See if it went out of tune. Seems okay. That one went out a little. So it's an instrument, it's real sensitive, okay? Just like you are. Okay? So anyways, you have to treat it like eggs.
Okay.
Take good care of it, okay? Pay attention to details. That's another thing that's very important, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you ready for the next thing? Let's check your book out here.
What it is on 170.
170 on the first song. That's great. Okay, so let's, we're gonna go through all the chords now of Let It Be.
Okay.
The first chord that we're gonna do is E minor. This is how we're gonna do it. Hold your left hand out like this, and then take the two inner fingers and touch your thumb like that. That's an exercise. The way you're doing is like this. You're going like this, but you want to curl your fingers like you're making an O or grabbing something,
like this?
holding something. Exactly, just like that. So you want to go like this, and that's how you're going to actually grip the chord, okay? So you bring your hand over to the neck, and your thumb is supposed to go. Let me take a video of this. Here, have your mom, grandma, or whatever. Can't remember who's grandma or who's mom.
Aunt.
Aunt, okay. Okay, so anyways, Aunt, take a video. So your thumb is supposed to be going the same direction as these little metal things, which are called the frets, okay? Or it's supposed to be perpendicular. It's crossing the neck. So if you walked across the neck, your thumb's going like this from this side to that side. You get it? Okay, you want your thumb about right here behind the second fret. So take a look over here. Let me see your eyes over here. Okay? Make that little shape I showed you, and your fingers are going to come down right here. You see that?
Here.
On strings 5 and 4, respectively. Pointing with your first finger. You don't want anything touching right in here. If your fingers collapse like this, we call that hinge barring. Don't hinge your fingers. Keep them curled. Push down. Now with your thumb over here, pretend that you're holding something in your hand, and you're just going to let your wrist do all the work. Just not that hard. Just kind of relax. Go across like that. Okay? Anchor your arm over here. There we go. Go across like that. But you got to push down over here. If you don't push down, you're not going to get anything out of it. Try it again. Push down hard, like you're pushing through the neck. Go for it. That's it. That's what you want. Okay?
Okay.
So let me do a good video.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what we want again. We've got a little isometric exercise we can do. We'll hold out our left hand because that's the hand we're playing on the neck with. We're going to bring our second and third finger in. Those are the fingers that I'm touching with the tips of my thumb. Like this together. Yeah.
Kind of
And we're going to make curl, a C or an O like that.
Oh.
And point, you see? Like the kids go, rock and roll. That's what this comes from. This is the learning how to play an E minor chord. Every teacher teaches somebody. That's what it is, okay? So that's what it is. So you're going to do that. That's a little exercise you can do without your guitar. And notice the other thing is my wrist is very straight. Look at how straight my wrist is when I do this. So when I come up and around, look, watch my wrist. And I put my thumb there. My wrist stays pretty straight. You see, it doesn't curl like this. You see, I'm not putting my elbow into it. So I want to go like that, okay? And you see I'm pointing. And you see there's space in there. Look at the space in there. You see the space? That's what you want to work on. I want to make sure you can get that. This is wrong. Let me show you what's wrong.
Grab his thumb.
This is called grabby hand or grab. Yeah, collapsed hand. This is collapsed hand, actually. This is called grabby thumb, when you go like that, when your thumb goes over. So you don't want grabby
grandma
thumb.
is bad too.
Yeah, you don't want grabby thumb, and you don't want collapsed hand. You see, so my thumb's going the same way that the neck is going. Undesirable. We don't want that. Okay? So let's try it. See if we remember.
You got it, babe.
Okay.
So there's a
Those
whole
fingers.
process. That's it. That's what I'm talking about right there.
It's 5 and
Nice
4.
straight wrist.
And I'm going to use some stickers on your guitar because you're not remembering where to put your fingers down. So that might be, this might help. Okay? Okay, let's put a couple of red hearts there because you're going to love this. Okay. This won't hurt your guitar. It's just got a little glue on it. You can always get it off later. It's not going to hurt it. So we want one right here. See that? Just look at how close the heart is to the fret. That's our second finger. See how I cover it up? And then we want another one right
Teal.
underneath it. So when we do the next one, well, we got to use the same color. You're going to notice I'm going to have to move this one over to slide that one in, you see? Okay, so you'll get to pick the next one. I get to pick the first one.
She likes blues
Okay. Well, we
and
can go with-
greens.
We'll usually go with blue or green for the second chord anyway, so that works out
Good.
great.
She'll be a happy girl.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So you're ready for Valentine's Day now, huh? Okay,
Next
so
year.
check it out. See that? And that's the fingering. That's what it should be like. You can see I can almost hold the guitar. But look at how much I'm gripping that. Don't worry about it. I've got it. Yeah, check it out. Look at that. I'm holding it like that. That means I'm pushing down pretty hard, huh? To do that, right? Look at my fingers. Just so you can see. Okay? Look.
Yeah.
You gotta get you those callous fingers.
Yep. Okay,
cut
so
my
let's get,
nails,
if you don't push hard enough, you won't get any sound out of it. So
Get your fingers in the right position.
remember,
I am.
we have to go through a nope, that's not the process.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
okay.
that's great. Now you got it. That's it. Perfect. And strum across. Yeah, strum a little lighter. You don't have to push down so hard. There we go. That's it. That's your first chord. E minor is your first chord, okay? That's great. That's your first chord. Sounds great. Sounds really good. Okay, now there's an exercise we can do with the E minor chord. Let me do a video for your
E minor is hard.
okay?
Thank you for that.
We can do, you're welcome. We can do an E minor first where we're strumming. This is my thumb is going to go to string number 6. That's physically the highest string. And I'm going to strum across. So let me move this out of the way so you can get this a little bit better. So watch this. My hand's really relaxed. Watch. And my thumb is just rubbing the strings lightly like that. Okay? Just slightly. I'm not going like this. That's pushing into the strings. I don't want that. I just want my thumbs to brush across the strings like that. Almost like I'm petting, you know, just lightly.
Petting one of the bigger dogs.
Yeah. And then I'm going to take these two fingers that I have in my left hand here, and I'm going to move them down to the next 2 strings. So watch this. These are going to go down to the next 2 strings. Notice I don't go like this. I don't walk them over like this. I move them together. Watch this. They're going to go together. This your hand has to see it from the side, kind of like this. So I'm going to relax lightly and then move over. And then they're going to end up on strings 3 and 4. So this is what the notes sound like. And I'm going to strum from 5 down. My thumb's going to go to the 5th string. And I get a new chord out of this. Watch. Okay? Something to notice also is the sound of the chord. The first chord that I played is an E minor chord. That's the chord we're going to use in the song, Let It Be. Okay? And it has kind of a feeling that it gives you. The feeling it gives you is kind of sad or melancholy. Like, listen. That doesn't sound happy. okay? Now the next chord I play is an A add 2. We're not going to use it in the song. We're just using it, you know, to practice this chord shape, okay? So I'm going to strum from 5 down, and this A add 2 chord gives me kind of a happy, bright, floaty feeling. Doesn't it feel like elevating, you know, kind of floaty, or a beautiful day and a rainbow or something, you know? It's got that feeling. It doesn't feel like the E minor. Listen again. That's like, hey, I feel great. That's a really nice feeling. Listen to the E minor so you can hear the difference and feel it. Listen. That sounds kind of sad compared to the A add 2. Okay? So we're going to move those 2 fingers over one more time. Watch this. So right now my second finger is on string number 4 at the 2nd fret, which is an E. And my third finger is underneath it on string number 3 at the 2nd fret, which is an A. And I was strumming from 5 down for the A add 2 chord. So I'm going to move it over, move it downward, all together, just like I did the E minor. Watch this again. So I'm just going to kind of feel the next 2 strings. And my thumb's going to go to string number 4. And I'm going to get kind of a jazzy sounding chord. The chord's called D major 9th, okay? So here it is. And it's pretty sounding. It's kind of, it's almost elevating, but it's just more like pretty. It's kind of a real pretty sounding chord. Okay, so that's D major 9th. Has a different feeling than A add 2, which is definitely, I feel like I'm almost in outer space or flying or something.
That's because it ends off the lower note at the top.
You think so? I think it's just the way the intervals work, you know, all the different notes in the chord. But physically, we're playing from 6 down for E minor. We're playing from 5 down for A add 2. And we're playing from 4 down for D major 9th. Now, we're going to try to do that, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you've got the video now. So try the E minor first, go through the process. Remember the process.
Always start with the fingers out.
Always start with the fingers out. You got to train yourself. It's tactile memory, so you're going to be remembering how to touch this thing, you know.
Your wrist is nice and
Point
straight.
your first, that's good, and you point your first finger out. Yeah, and you're going to brush across like you're petting really lightly, not really slamming. There we go.
That was
That's
nice.
Beautiful. That sounds really good.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
And you know, a good thing to do is just strum it like 4 times. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and try to keep the beat the same. So go ahead and try it. Wherever it feels good.
You might want to fix your fingers first, honey.
Yeah. Always adjust your left hand first. Make sure you get your hand, because you're training your hand for a grip. Okay?
So just four chords? Or not?
6 down is what you want to be thinking. 6 string down. All the way across. Just go to the string. All the way across like that. There we go. That's good. And do it 4 times. That's twice. 3 times. 4 times. That's good. Now let's move to the next shape. The next chord.
Right here, so.
So these 2 fingers want to move over here. Point.
Wait.
There we go. And get your thumb to go to 5 and strum 5 down. That's it. You got it. That sounds great. It's got that
going
light.
again, remember?
Do it 4 times, all the way across. 3 and 4 times. Great.
was very
That
nice.
sounds really nice. Okay, now let's go to the next adjacent strings, the next 2 strings across there. Point again. Make sure your thumb goes to 4. Strum from 4 down. That sounds really nice too. That's good. And when you're doing this, you know, I'm going to tell you something. You're doing a lot of things at one time, but the most important thing that you do is listen, because that's what music's about. It's about listening, okay? About listening, hearing, you know, playing. So when you play something, you want to listen carefully to what it sounds like. When you go back and you hear the video, because I'm sure she'll be able to hear it, right? You're going to notice that when things sound right and when they sound, you know, kind of funny. And you'll notice one thing you'll notice is when I play it, you'll notice it's got a lot of presence. You know, when you play it, it's going to be real soft. You're going to have the same presence that I have eventually when you practice and your fingers get stronger.